Today we've got Coach Torbush. He'll start with an opening statement, followed by your questions. Then we have sophomore linebacker Dylan Weigel, sophomore quarterback Austin Herring. So whenever you guys are set,
everybody ready to roll or need a minute? Well, first of all, welcome back. Glad y'all are back. Glad I'm back. It's been about 10 months since we've been here, so this is a great time of the year. It's exciting getting ready to play the first game of the season. Obviously, we got to see a ball game the other night in Charleston Southern and North Dakota State, so I think all of us probably realize Charleston Southern's a pretty good football team that we played last year, because they played the national 5-time champion nip and tuck up until that first overtime when they gave up a 25-yard run. But you know, this first ball game is an exciting time for us. We're getting ready to play Kennesaw State. I think it gives us a chance to see how far we've come since last year. Obviously, for about a half last year, it was a heck of a ball game. The second half got way out of hand with interception return, several long touchdown runs. So, you know, it just blew up on us after halftime, and we didn't play as well, and probably rightfully so. I mean, I'm not sure they were that much better than us, but obviously they were a better football team than we were. They had a little bit more age. They've got, I think, an outstanding coaching staff. Facility-wise, they've got what they need to do to give themselves a chance to win. Obviously, the recruiting base is outstanding, you know, in the Atlanta area. But again, like I say, I think it's a great opportunity. Last year it was, and obviously this year it will be, to see how much improvement we've made as compared to how much improvement they've made. I mean, they've got just about everybody back. We've got everybody back, so it'll be interesting to see again. We know we're bigger, stronger, faster than we were last year with some additions. Obviously, they'll be the same way. They've got 6 seniors that are starting right now for them, that same 6 that started last year, and one of them may have gotten beat out, because I saw a new depth chart today where they're only starting 5 seniors instead of 6 seniors. So either they had a young kid beat somebody out, or the older guy may be hurt. I'm not sure of that, but I think it starts out with what they do on offense. Obviously, they're in a double slot formation, which is basically the old-timey wishbone formation. So they're going to run the football, and they're going to run it well and rely on you to make mistakes to get them in position to make big plays. Last year, I thought we went into the game well coached on what to do, how to do it. I thought our young men did a really nice job, and then, like I say, we gave up some big plays. It just totally took it out of the realm of us having an opportunity to win the ball game. But they've got all their running backs back. 6 out of 6 running backs. They've got their starting quarterback back. They've got a transfer quarterback that will be back up, but Trey White is where it all starts, their starting quarterback. He had about 100 yards against us last year. He knew when to give, keep, and pitch, and he kept them in good shape. I think defensively they've improved quite a bit. If you looked at their schedule last year, obviously they won 6 ball games last year with a brand new football program, so they did a really nice job of what they did. They're in the Big South Conference, which obviously they felt like they needed to jump up there a little bit quicker than probably we did, because we were playing as an independent. So it's a little bit different situation this year as far as the playing in the league. But you know, to win 6 ball games in their first year of college football, I think says a lot, not only for their football team, but for their coaching staff as well. And I think, like I say, the biggest thing that we can do right now is to see where we've come since this time last year to right now. And I think our young men are excited about playing. We're going into the ball game fairly injury-free. No season-ending injuries, so we feel good about that. I think we're better than ever positioned across the board, and we need to be. I mean, it's a time this year that we need to jump it up a notch and play a lot better than we did. But again, the main thing that I like is playing Kennesaw State again the first game of the season, because it gives us a realistic opportunity to see how much improvement we made and how much bigger, stronger, and faster we've gotten a year. So, you know, like I say, the biggest thing that they've got that we've got to do a good job of is the type of offense they run. You'd obviously like to play that offense 2 or 3 weeks in a row, and we play several of those type of offenses this year, but they've done a good job with what they do, and like I say, they've got a very experienced quarterback, which I think gives them a little bit better situation than a lot of teams going in with a young quarterback. So, questions?
On the two games, I only can find one true freshman on You always said you like to redshirt. Do you have plans to redshirt guys that aren't on there? Or?
Yeah, we've got, I think they're probably right now, Joe, and I'm not going to mention names till after they play because we may end up trying to hold them, but if we've got a freshman that's better than what we're playing with or capable of beating him out, we're going to play him this year because it's a lot more important for us to win ball games this year than it was last year. You know, last year we're trying to build this program where it needs to be. I think it's very, very important that we take a step forward this year as far as winning football games, but I don't see that happening in very many places, but there are several freshmen that I think do have a chance to jump in there and, play this year. And if they play, once we make a commitment to play them, they're going to play. You know, it's not going to be we're going to play them 5 or 6 plays a game on special teams and then waste a year of eligibility. If we play them, they're not only going to play on special teams, they're going to play on offense or defense because we feel like we need to be able to do that to justify taking a red shirt off of a freshman.
Was center one of the toughest calls you had to make to pick one of the two guys?
Well, I think it was. Obviously, Matthew Pike is an 11-game starter last year. He did a really nice job for us, and I think he did okay early in the two-a-day camp. But Miles Smith did obviously a better job, or he would have been starting at some point. But last couple scrimmages, I felt like that, and we felt like, and Coach Losey and Coach O'Kane felt like that Matt had really worked hard to get his position back, and it's great. You know, hopefully that thing will just keep going back and forth because if it does, then both guys are going to get better as football players, just like at every position. Anytime we got competition at each position, it's going to make us a better football team.
The team was still so young when you took them on last season. What's the biggest thing you remember from that matchup these guys have to be prepared for this time?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, I felt like the adrenaline, obviously playing at home in front of 8,000 fans, I thought they responded and showed some maturity in playing that ball game. We didn't get all out of whack. Usually if you're going to give up big plays, you give it up early. We didn't do that. I thought for, like I say, basically the first half, we played them just about as well as you can play, and then it just blew up. If you look at it, with about 6 minutes to go in the first half, we were ahead. Then we got behind, and then after that, we had some really, really bad plays that got us way behind, and then pretty soon the game got out of hand in the fourth quarter. But the fourth quarter, I felt like we played way too much defense. We couldn't convert some third downs on offense, and that's just the opposite of what you want to do against a wishbone-type team because if they keep you out on the field, they're going to wear you down and get you tired. We've got to do a better job of playing too deep on defense and offensively. We need to do a good job of not turning the ball over, and we need to do a good job to make sure that we have some time of possession as well as convert on third downs.
You did get worn down last year, and looking at the two deep now, you have a lot of guys that are listed as backups or starters last year. So you think that extra depth might be kind of the difference if you didn't have any depth players?
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt, Joe. We got several transfers. We've got several guys that we redshirted that I said early in the year that, we were going to probably take our lumps a little bit because of doing that, but it would have been crazy to play all of our freshmen last year, and then that, what we'd have had here in 3 years is a senior class of about 45 guys with no freshmen to be able to sign. So I think we've tried to do it the right way. Again, only time will tell here in about 3 years if we built the program the way it needs to be built. But right now, I feel like we're going in that direction. I think you can see the maturity level. If you've been out to practice, you've been able to see that. I mean, you see that we're bigger, you see that we're stronger, you see that we're faster. And I think we were able to plug in some certain areas that we needed some help in with a couple transfers or junior college kids that fit into the mode of the program that we're trying to run here at ETSU.
Coach, last year the offensive line was a little bit undersized. They obviously beefed up and strengthened up. What have you seen from them this fall as far as preparing to head into this season?
I think just a lot bigger and stronger. Our defensive line, in my opinion, going into this season was the strong point of our football team. When you think Tremont Farrell and Chris Boyer, some of those guys, Trey Quillen, those guys are starters from last year, and they helped their own against some big guys. And I think our offensive line has really matched up with them in the spring, but especially this fall. And it's been very good competition. So I would say right now that our offensive line, because of just getting bigger and stronger, and I've got to give a lot of credit to Al Johnson, our strength coach, because if you just look at them, they look bigger and stronger, and they are bigger and stronger, and that ought to enable us to make some of the third down and 1, third down and 2, third down and 3s that last year we didn't make, and quite honestly, it cost us a couple ball games.
After After seeing that formation last year going into this year, are there any adjustments you plan on making, or do you feel like your guys have matured enough to where you will be able to handle this formation?
Well, I think the biggest adjustment is to tackle better. We were in position several times to make plays last year. I think it had very little to do with poor alignment or poor assignment or knowing who to take. It was more about the third and fourth quarter that we got a little bit tired and couldn't make plays. We missed some tackles at inopportune times. They had a little 3 or 4 yard stop route outside that we missed a tackle. They ended up taking it about 60 or 70 yards for a touchdown early in the second half. So I think it was a lot more to do with us not being able to make plays that we should have made, that hopefully this year we will make them because of maturity, because of experience, and because we got more depth. Those same guys won't have to play 60 or 70 plays in a row this year. Last year we had some that played way more than they needed to. If we can play too deep, then that'll keep us fresh late into the fourth quarter, and that's what we want to do.
Based on what you've seen off in camps, do you feel like you're confident going into the first game of the season?
Oh, I'm confident. I'm confident. I was confident 11 games last year. It's a matter of going out on the field and showing the maturity and showing how much improvement we've made to get it done. I'm one of those guys. I don't make a lot of predictions. Let's go out on the field and play, and if we do what we're capable of doing, and what I want to see is our guys compete, our guys feeling like they got a chance to win, and then us having success because of all the hard work that they've given so far.
You got to kick off the season at home last year, so how big is it for the young guys to see how they're going to handle a hostile environment right out of the gate?
Well, it'll be big, but again, a lot of the, probably 3/4 of the team have been in this type of environment. When you go to Montana, that is that type of environment. When you go to Mercer, that is that type of environment. Charleston Southern, even though they didn't have as big a stadium, that was that type of environment. So we'll be in we've been in that type of environment. Obviously, the first game of the season there, and I'm not sure how many their stadium holds. I think it's 10 or 12,000. They'll have it packed, and most of them will be for them. So I think our guys will respond very well to that. We've got a lot of guys that have some maturity and have been there, done that, which should help the young guys that haven't been there and done that, relax and just be able to play. The worst thing we can do is be taking a 22 true freshmen down there in this type of environment. Then you're not exactly sure how they're going to respond. I know at North Carolina one year we had about 7 freshmen starting on defense, which I felt really good about their athleticism, but next thing I knew, about 6 of them had cramps, and that was not a good situation. And so we've got to try to be aware and what ifs a lot of things, but I feel good about where we are right now. I think we've got the experience at the positions we need to have the experience at to give us a chance to go in there and show some maturity and be able to handle the adversity, which you're going to have some, be able to handle the hostile environment, which we're going to have, and get us prepared for the rest of the season. Because we're getting ready to play in this SoCon now. We're going to have this type of environment every time we go to somebody else's field.
When you bring in the transfers, you expect to make a difference. What has Ryan Powers brought so far?
First of all, great young man. He's be a coach, and hopefully he'll stay here and coach. But he's a guy that, if you run him and do agility drills and see him in the weight room, he's going to be good, but he's not going to wow you. Now, when you see him in that football suit and put him on the field, then he's one of those guys that runs the same speed in pads that he does in shorts. Got tremendous football intelligence, and he makes a lot of plays, and he's a guy that, in my opinion, against the type of offense we're playing this first game, I think you'll see him probably being one of the leading tacklers we have.
How big is that to have Powers and Lott back there in the secondary with all the experience they've had this season?
Well, I think you got them. You got a guy like Paul Hunter. You got Javon Gooden. All those guys are in the 2 deep. There's no doubt that they will help us this first ball game. I think give us the maturity factor, because if you look back, that's probably where most of our upperclassmen are, is in the secondary, because we've got 4 or 5 back there. The rest of them are one here and one there, but that particular area, I think it will give us a chance to have some maturity and make some plays on run or pass, because obviously when we play Kennesaw State, one of their big things is play action pass and throw it over your head deep when you got 2 guys across the line of scrimmage trying to play the option. So hopefully our guys will do what they're supposed to do, and they did pretty well last year. Like I say, the biggest problem we had last year was making some one-on-one tackles in key situations that we need to make if we're going to have a winning football team and program.
You rotated the quarterbacks a lot last year. What's the plan this year for them?
Well, right now, of course, you got him right here today. There's no question he's separated himself, and in my opinion, he's first of all, become one of the best leaders we've got. He's a great young man, and I'll say that in front of him because I know that he responds and has the maturity to handle that, but there's no doubt it's his position. He's shown us the leadership that he needs to have, and like I told him earlier, he needs to understand that he's a lot better runner than he probably gave himself credit for being when he got here, and he's shown that this fall, throwing the ball extremely well. And the great thing about it, I think our offensive line is so much better than they were last year, which should give him a chance to drop back and throw it on rhythm instead of dropping back and running for his life.
Any other questions for Coach?
Guys, appreciate you being here, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next week.